My friends, welcome to another episode of the Nuclear Heatwave Wrestling Podcast, brought to you by Mafia Sports Report. I, as always, am Dr. Love, and of course, we've got, you know who we've got. We've got Sauce Bronson in the house.
I'm the light-skinned man with the plan. Hey, don't pay attention to these ashy hands, okay?
Oh, here we go. I like the evolved form of that. That's nice. I like it.
And shout out to my smart room lights, because this room looks way brighter than what it normally is. So
it really does. It really does look brighter. Actually, I was going to say that. So let's see. We do have chat here. We got CBM in the house. Thanks, guys. No, thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm not sure though, because I don't know if I want to try Marmite anymore. But you know what? In the future, we'll try anything once. There you go. That's what it works. So. But all right. So Sauce, how's it going with you? Having a good day? Having a good week?
Hey, listen, man. Listen. The Lions won a game, and
baby, Lions
won. Let's go, baby.
Here we go.
Oh, and in personal life news, I beaten the campaign for Spider-Man 2, and I what's the other thing? Oh yeah, I'm almost platinum it. So
nice. You know, actually, the first Spider-Man for PS4, that was the first game I ever platinumed on PS4.
That's what up.
Yeah, so, that was actually fun to platinum. There's a difference. Some of those games, it's not fun at all.
Oh, yeah, it's like pulling teeth.
Yeah, but not that game. That game was a lot of fun. So,
hey, Doc, I know we're going to talk about some wrestling. We're about to talk about AEW. Can I go on a quick 2-minute rant?
Absolutely. The floor is yours.
Yeah. I want to talk about Tony Dumbass Khan. So it was brought to my attention. I wanted to watch say Keith Lee versus Samoa Joe. I heard it was hell of a banger match.
Yep.
And apparently Joe retained, and then he gave up the title right after the match. So
yep.
my question to Papa Khan is why? I know. Listen. I know that coward. He's got people watching this podcast, so I need y'all to ask that coward in Jacksonville. What was the point? Why didn't you just Why didn't you just have him put Keith Lee over? It wouldn't have hurt Joe. Joe is like 50 years old in wrestling years, and I mean it wasn't gonna hurt him at all. You know, for the most part, WWE, you know, push and bury is different from other wrestling push and bury. So to me, it made no sense. This would have been a great moment for. This probably would have been Keith Lee's best wrestling moment since he won the NXT title, 15 years ago in NXT.
Yep. And what makes it worse too, Sauce, is that Keith Lee passed out. The coquina clutch, passed out, lost. You know, ref stoppage, however you want to say it. To me, I know they didn't tap out, but they still gave up.
Yeah. To me, listen, if you pass out, in my book, you still submit it.
Correct. So that made it look worse to me. Like you could, oh my gosh, why? And then you're right. They made a big deal about him being the longest reigning ROH TV champion of all time, right? Just to lay down the belt. Oh, I want something bigger. I want the bigger championship. Cool. Okay, that's cool. How many times have you seen someone win the secondary title to go on to win the title? I mean, I'm not saying that Goldberg's one of the best wrestlers at all, but he was, United States champion. Then I win your world championship, and then you drop the title. Then you drop the U.S. title or whatever.
So in modern day wrestling, that logic definitely applied to NXT. Pretty much, I would say since the Atlantic Championship was introduced.
Yep.
Pretty much most of the people who won the Atlantic belt eventually went on their way to win the NXT title.
Yep. So it was very odd booking because you got to remember, last time we saw all these, how many people were wanting to feud with MJF? Like 4? Yeah. Like 4 different people were wanting to feud, including Samoa Joe, including Wardlow, including Jay White, including everybody wanted to we all got a chance after him now. So yeah, I was not a big fan of the booking on that, but of course, we won't know what's up in those crazy eyes of Tony Khan. You know, those crazy bug eyes. Like, what's going on? I know what I'm talking about, guys. It's good shit.
Yeah, it's just like there's nothing that man can say to me that would change my mind. You literally like it. You putting somebody over. It's bringing what's that word that us internet wrestling fans like to use? Prestige. Would have brought prestige to the title because nothing makes the title better than prestige. That's all I'm saying. So in the future, like MJF isn't going to give up a title after he wins. You know why? Because somebody's going to beat him for it, and that gives it more prestige to the belt. That's all I'm saying.
You got a very good Ruxin voice for that. That's what. Yeah. That's what. Unclean.
Yeah, I'll say Ring of Honor TV title forever unclean.
Unclean. And we got another chat here. Look at the D-Town guy in the house. What's up, fellas? Yeah. What's up with you, man? Good seeing you. Good seeing you as always.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. And thanks for hanging out. Just come, since you got nothing to do for the next hour and a half, why don't you guys come in here and help me bitch and complain about Tony Khan's booking for the next hour.
And the case in point, we are previewing AEW's next pay-per-view this Saturday, Full Gear. So, and what can I say? There's going to be some good, there's going to be some weird choices here, but we're here to tell you about most of it here. So, let's take a look here. It looks like,
mind you, this is a new platform we're on. So,
looks like Sauce, you are in control of this because it doesn't look like I have control of it. So it looks like, yep. There you go. So
let's try. Oh, sorry, y'all, we got a lot going on here. We're trying to figure this out.
It's like, hold on. It's like, that'll work. So,
all right, guys, this is our first day.
So, first and foremost, I'm just going to say this real quick because I just found this out. There's one pre-show match so far for the show. Normally, we don't really particularly kind of go into pre-show matches, but I have to in this case because MJF is in the pre-show again, defending the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles against the Guns with a to-be-determined partner, or if he has a partner at all. Here's my problem I have with this. When they already did this once, right? They already did this once already. And they fought, I can't remember who they fought. The Dark Order, they fought some. I can't remember who they fought. But now you're going to fight the Guns. And if you're going to have him by himself beat the Guns, all that work that they've been doing to push the Guns as this good heel group is out the window now. If you have MJF beat them all, beat them both, Oh, so that's the only thing I'm going to talk about this pre-show match. I would love to see the Guns win. That'd be great, right? Because the Guns are, I'm saying, they've grown on me. They really have. So,
they have definitely come a ways.
Mm-hmm.
I think what really helped them I guess we could say the only thing that's kind of helped them, kind of get out of that rut when they first started, as far as feuding with the Acclaim. So then once you got past the Acclaim, because the one thing you would say about the Acclaim, they definitely are good as far as putting people over. Hell, they sold us Swerve Strickland for a while that we still haven't gotten a singles match about, but that's another story. Once again to dumbass Khan booking, but
And speaking about Tony Khan, what does DJ guy got to say about it? Our D-Town guy, he needs to stay out of the way.
Oh, and another thing. Oh yeah, I'm just back on this rant again. This is what happens when you have a company where the employees tell the boss what they're going to do. The employees, they run the shop, while the boss just sits back and just goes, "Okay, all right, I'm a good booker, even though I'm a total
Booker of the Year, PWI Booker of the Year."
Yeah. So, listen. Tell PWI, tell those cowards over there to just throw just throw their whole website in the trash too.
I agree. So I don't really have much else to say about this match, so that's just going to leave it as is. So that's how we're going to work. So moving on, I will say for the next match, the first match, I'm going to talk about the women's championship match, which you have the champion, Hikaru Shida, versus timeless Toni Storm. Now, I'll tell you right now, I like Shida a lot, but I can't stress how much I love that they let Toni Storm kind of do her own thing and then work this gimmick, and it's worked it's fantastic. It's so good. Like the Outcast thing was it was just blah, blah. It was so terrible. Like to me, it just didn't work. But this, it just works so well, and I'm all for it. That being said, the match, these women can work. You know, these women can work. I'm hoping to see. I really hope. I hope Toni wins. Honestly, I think Toni will win the match, but it's one of those things where she doesn't need it. You know, she's over. The gimmick works, but it would just be nice to see with gold, right? Because you're the blonde bombshell, you know, type character with gold, and then you can keep moving on with that gimmick even more. Yeah, gold, yes. I think it would work really well, and this could be the time to pull the trigger for it. And then she could have a nice lengthy run with that championship. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Toni on that. I'm going to think that they're going to, she's going to win, and then she'll hold it for a while. Because right now, look at the women's title. It kind of been bounced around the past few months, real quick, kind of back and forth. And so I feel like there's nothing against Shida. I do like her, but I think it's Toni's time. Toni time. There we go.
Hey, how did that song go back in the day? The Toni.
Toni. Yeah.
So. That's the first thing I thought about as far as writing this in. But yeah, Doc, I definitely agree. I don't know. Maybe it was something where they just, once again, maybe Paige just told Tony Khan, like, listen here, Mr. Booker of the Year. I feel like none of us in our little crew should beat each other for the belt. So why don't you let me hold it and then find somebody to beat me, and then Toni can have it. And Toni was like, okay. So with that being said, it sucks that, she's had a few defense titles, she's, had a few defenses. But I think it was almost like she just kind of like a placeholder. She's basically a placeholder champion right now.
Yeah.
Until, they get the belt on who they want to put, as far as push the title with. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I agree. And I just am hoping to see, like I said, Toni win, keep it for a lengthy time, at least until the Revolution in March. And then even because, again, sometimes if your character's so good, you don't need a championship, but it also can help elevate that championship as well. And she'll fight for it, too. She'll defend the title against all comers. It'll make her character be, elevated even much more. So I'm all about it. And then the promos are great. You just got to watch out for the shoe. Just watch out for the shoe. The best parts of those promos, if you ever watch, it's just any promo where you see Renee just look deadpan, gets like what am I doing here with these stupid promo? It's the best. It's actually more funny than it should be. But yeah. So moving on, we do have, great. We got another 6-man tag match, baby. Another one. With we've got Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland with Ric Flair in the corner. Versus Christian, Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne. That child that just showed up with them, apparently. Oh, God. By the way, though, they apparently have a name for their group. Their name is the Patriarchy, which I think is pretty cool. Then it kind of worked for Christian. So, but great. Sauce, another 6-man tag match, Good use of Adam Copeland's time, the setup for the eventual singles match that he's going to have against Christian. But
hey, listen,
match, buddy.
Listen, birds got to fly. Tony Khan's got to do backwards booking. So
We got to remember this is Sting's farewell tour. The farewell tour.
even though he's just playing a supporting role, but yeah.
Yep. Oh man, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, it's so because of being a 6-man tag match, it makes more sense for Adam Copeland, Sting to win, right? Nick Wayne's gonna take the bumps. He's gonna take that loss easily.
Well, Darby. Well, I would say. Well, it's probably a mix between Darby and Nick, who's going to take most of the bumps. But I wouldn't be surprised if Luchasaurus takes the pin from Adam.
Okay, all right. Kind of showing off the going against the big guy,
because now we're on the Sting farewell tour. I wouldn't be surprised if Sting pins Luchasaurus.
Okay, all right.
I mean, granted, the easy money is on Nick Wayne, but the money, or as Dutch Rose say, the big money, I'll put on Luchasaurus getting pinned.
The big money. Oh my god! Now is Nick Wayne's mom gonna be there? Is she gonna be?
The Vegas odds over under. I'm gonna go over with yes.
Okay, gotcha. Please don't do any betting. Please don't bet off our words or saying no.
Hey, listen, if you lose your money, MGM, listen to us. It's your fault, not ours.
That is true. Yeah, I really did with this match. It is just there to show Sting, have people see Adam, to see more sweet Christian, cut some badass promo. Ric Flair is gonna just wander himself out to the ring. Just make sure he doesn't get in the ring. Like the second he starts trying to get in the ring, they're like, no, stop. Stop.
Like, no, stop.
That's exactly.
You take a newspaper, you hit him upside, you bop him upside the head.
Yep. Little water, like,
yeah, there you go. But again, just get a thing of water and just spray the old dinosaur away from the ring.
Yep, that's what I would say. Oh my gosh.
Listen, all the wrestling fans and marks. Yes, I know Ric Flair was a big deal, but this is 2023, and him and that other dinosaur named Sting, they just need to go ahead, just hobble off into the sunset, please.
Oh man, no, I agree. So really, there's not much stakes to this match. Obviously, we're just waiting for Adam Copeland, like all their singles match. You're gonna see Nick Wayne versus Darby in some match, and then you're gonna see Christian and them. They have another pay-per-view next month. Let's remember we're gonna do another pay-per-view. So let's see how this is gonna work out. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of that new pay-per-view, The World's End, because they're starting to we'll add more shows to it. It's like you have 4 big shows, and maybe let's hold on to that for a bit, But anyways, so we're gonna move on to the next match, which I'm gonna go with. Actually, excited for this match, the International Championship match with Orange Cassidy.
Let's go,
John Moxley. So obviously, the last time we saw this match, this was pretty aggressive match, to the point where Moxley did not even bleed in that match.
And the other guy did.
Oh yeah, and Orange Cassidy was very much bleeding, and he got destroyed in that match. But not he still got his licks in too,
Oh yeah.
But then you had all the kind of controversy with this belt. I say semi-controversy, the where Moxley had the concussion supposedly, and that's why he had dropped the belt, and then he got the belt back basically a week later, from or however long it was. And it's kind of like, okay, all right. And I remember seeing it too, it looked rough. And it was one of those things where, there was that miscommunication in that match he had where with Phoenix, right? I think it was Phoenix that won the title from him.
Yep.
I believe. Yeah, Phoenix.
Phoenix won didn't Ray Phoenix win the Wednesday right after Mox won it?
Yes, so he won it, and he had done the 2 Tiger drivers, and what basically happened was they called an audible. The referee was not aware and then the referee didn't count the 3 count. Now I'll tell you right now, in wrestling terms, for years, the referee counts 3. They count 3. Okay, if you don't count 3, that's gonna screw up everything. It doesn't matter if someone loses the belt. It doesn't matter if someone. If you don't count that 3 count, it's gonna be very obvious and take everyone out of it. And then wrestling fans are very aggressive when something bad happens like that. So, I mean, we've all kind of forgotten about it a little bit now, but still, it was pretty rough to see. But
because here's the thing: in the world of professional wrestling, there's no reshoot, no retakes, no nothing.
No,
it's they say you either like the first time or you get booed out the building.
Mm-hmm. So, regardless, they have that, and then Moxley wins the belt back, obviously saying he's okay. With this match, I don't know what they're going to do with this, because are they going to go the hardcore style again? Or is Moxley going to take more bumps this time? Is like Orange Cassidy, he's a 2-time champion now. Is he was pretty aggressive in the last one. Is he going to be more aggressive? Yeah. I feel like Moxley just wants to take time off and he can't. I feel like he keeps dragging him back in. They're like, we need you, man. We need you. So can you come back for a little bit? Oh, God.
Because at this point, I mean, as you already see who I have winning. I don't see Mox coming out there every week for the next 2 months and just, start every show wrestling for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening. So that's the only reason why I say Orange Cassidy retains.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to have to agree with you on that. I'm not going to lie. When you said you put it on there, I was like, what? It's highlighted. Oh, no, it's orange. That's funny. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with you on that. I feel like Moxley, he doesn't want to be going on there every show, but Orange Cassidy had already defended it so many times in really good matches. So I feel like that's going to happen. I do think someone might come out in that match, not interfere per se, but maybe at the end of the match, maybe set up for a new feud.
Maybe Yuta versus Cassidy.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Maybe Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli, maybe him, because we haven't really heard from him since he lost the Ring of Honor title.
Right.
So I just maybe setting up something so it's like, okay, what do we got now next for Orange Cassidy? I would personally love to see the international title being defended at Wrestle Kingdom in New Japan in January. If you're really a international title, then they need to make that happen. Okay, that needs to happen. So that's just my opinion on that. Make it happen. Get off your ass and make it happen. But excuse me. But let's see. Okay, so it does look. Okay, so you actually just mentioned something to me. You were talking about Swerve Strickland. Well, he does get his rematch against Hangman Adam Page in a Texas death match. So, so they're booking this as like a sequel, it's 2. Adam Page versus Swerve 2. And you're like, okay, cool. I've obviously mentioned a few times on this show that I'm not a big fan of Adam Page. I will say, I thought their match was pretty good. It was a pretty good match. Swerve to me, I mean, he's money. This guy's money. I think that he needs, after this feud's over, he has to get pushed into a title picture. Whether it's the aforementioned international title or, go for the world title. I mean, the problem is right now, I know it's not like, he's going to go for world title now. I get that. But at least let him start wrestling people that are in that picture. Adam Page is no longer in the world title picture. He's done. He's done so. He's never going to go back in a world title picture. I could bet anything that he will never go back into it, actually, at this point.
Y'all think so?
No, I just don't think, no. I just think he, look, I know it comes off like I'm very aggressive against him, but I just feel like we had him win. When he had the big, he had the big fanfare, like, the little guy, he's going to come back, like the Daniel Bryan, or like the Kofi Kingston, like I'm gonna win, and then he won, and then no one cared. Like no one cared. Then when he came back from injury, that hurt though. Come back from injury, most time they really don't care. So new people come up all the time. So, but I think Swerve. I think I don't know. I think Swerve's gonna take this one, and I think it's just gonna be another match because if Swerve doesn't, it's really gonna hurt his put and then kind of push going forward. And yeah, so all right.
Me personally, with all this going on, I can see Hangman I can see Hangman winning now. The reason, but the only stipulation with this pick is I see Hangman winning. I just don't see him winning clean.
Okay. All right.
Because he's got some type of basically, they're going to want him to go through a lot of emotions. Oh my God, this spotlight is so bright. Let's say Hangman's going to be going through a lot of emotions. When I consider, Swerve and his buddy was just, getting jiggy with all through his house, and I just don't like. Yeah, I just feel like Hangman's getting a W, but it won't be a 1, 2, 3 or one. Or the only other way I can see Hangman getting if it isn't a clean win, I can see maybe he'll get win by submission. I know that's a spicy take. That's a hot take. Mm-hmm. But this is just going through my brain right now.
Well, I could see him, especially like you mentioned, they're already setting up the storyline, Swerve doing the stuff in his house. He's going to be more aggressive. So I could see like a choking him out, because this also is this is a Texas death match. Now, the term death match in wrestling has been thrown around so much for years. Now, officially, if you want to have a real death match, it has nothing to do with crazy hardcore weapons, CZW, ECW type site. It's nothing like that. Traditional deathmatch rules state that the match happens against one-on-one, and you have to get 2 consecutive pinfalls or submissions to win. That's it. Well, I say that's it, but that's what you have to do. So in a sense, that's a traditional deathmatch. Again, they probably are not going to be doing that here. But I always like the idea of the traditional deathmatch rule. Because you would say if you were fighting real hard, you got a pinfall. There you go. Then you go again, then you fight for another 10 minutes and then or whatever. But then they get a pinfall. That null and voids both pinfalls. You got to get 2 in a row. There you go. So makes it even harder. In this way, I don't know what they're going to go with. I don't know if it's just going to be a weapons type match. I just tried to look it up just now. Does not specifically say. And if we go off of previous AEW shows, they are not going to explain it either.
No, they're definitely not.
They never explain the rules of their matches. Like they'll do like the big one, like the casino battle royal or whatever, or the poker chip one. They'll do those because those are like their biggest one. But anything else, they're just like, well, they'll get it. They'll understand. It's okay. Oh, got it, guys.
Gotta love pro wrestling.
No, yes, I know. I do like your idea now about the about like a possible submission type thing where he's getting choked out, especially if there's weapons involved. They can see him, choking him out with like a strap, like the leather strap or a kendo stick type crossface or even a chain or something, because that could.
Oh man, part of me. So 2 things. One, I realized that he can't necessarily get a dirty win, like disqualification or anything, because it's a death match. But AEW changes rule every 5 minutes. But man, I would love to see that PR nightmare when they show a picture of Hangman literally choking out Swerve with a noose or anything leather around his neck.
Now that'd be something right there. That would be something. I mean, this should be a good match, though. It should be. So, based off of what their rules, what they want to actually do for the rules, it really depends on how good the match is going to be. If it's just going to be like strict weapons or whatever, then I don't know how good it is, but we'll have to wait and see, Or are they going to try to stretch this out into like a rubber match? mainly because of the way that they're advertising it as like a sequel with a 2. So I don't know. We shall see. And maybe, just maybe, Hangman might grow on me a little. Just a
Like I
little.
said, me personally, I don't know the full backstory history as far as when it comes to Mr. Hangman. So I look at him kind of, he kind of gave me like the people's champion type vibes with him coming in. So, but I just feel like, I just feel like that. Because remember, Swerve got the first victory, correct?
Yes.
So I feel like this is eventually going to go to, it's going to turn into a rubber match situation. So I see Hangman winning, but just through extreme method, through like a choke out. You know what this reminds me of? The way this match can go?
Mm-hmm.
It can go Cena versus Orton when I forgot what pay-per-view that was. It was right after Orton beat up his daddy.
Oh my gosh.
And then Cena just went like ballistic on him, and Cena basically Orton, Randy won the match basically because it was like, I think it was like DQ or something, because John Cena wouldn't let go of the submission. So
yeah, I think I do remember that, and that is a good way to put it. That's a really good way. So I could see it. I could absolutely see that happen now. So, Gosh, it's funny when you just said John Cena versus Orton, and then like you were like, "What match?" I'm like, "How many? So many matches those guys had."
Oh, shoot! For like what 3 years? 3 years they damn near was fighting like every other month.
Oh my gosh! But yeah, I do know the one you're talking about, because when John Cena's dad came out, oh man, that's in which. Do you remember this? I know it's off topic. Do you? Because I think his name was also John, right? Isn't his dad's name also John Cena?
Yeah. Because John is a junior.
John Jr. Okay, so I remember.
Yeah, because his dad. Because I don't know if you ever remember, but I don't know if it was if there was introduced. I don't know if it was earlier or later, like during Cena's career, where they would refer to his dad as John Senior, basically Cena Senior.
Yeah.
So I don't remember, like, because they was doing it for a while. I don't think they really do it now as much when they reference him, but
no.
For a hot minute, they refer to him as Senior. I think after a while, I'm pretty sure Michael Cole got tired of referring to him as Cena Senior. Say that like 6 times fast, Senior.
Well, that's also a McMahon thing. McMahon absolutely hates junior, senior. He hates that idea of saying that for wrestlers. Junior, goddamn, they're a child. Senior, they're an old man. Because even when like Chavo, remember when Chavo, his dad came out, they were at the beginning they referred to him as Chavo Guerrero Senior.
Yep.
Then they changed it to what? Chavo Classic.
Yep.
I mean, it was ridiculous, but it kind of was cool. And Rey Mysterio Jr. for his entire career. Nope, Rey Mysterio had to cut Jr. because he's not a kid, not a child. So McMahon doesn't like that idea of that, and it is what it is.
I ain't gonna lie, this is kind of off topic, but I kind of feel the same way. Well, like with certain with NFL players, if you don't already come in as a junior, don't put junior on your name or your nameplate, because it just looks weird. Like Calvin Johnson Jr. For a while, it just said Johnson Jr. I was like, this looks so weird. Can y'all please?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, for a minute it was Johnson Jr. At one point, I remember his nameplate said Johnson Jr. I think it went just back to Johnson for a while. It looked so weird.
Yeah, that is a little odd. At that point, you're like, yeah, maybe we'll take that off.
Yeah, it's like if you don't already come in as a junior or a senior, it's like, yeah, just don't. Because there were some players, I remember some NFL players, 1 minute they was just regular name, and then they would like have a child, then they would put their name as like senior. It just looks so weird.
Yeah. So I think that's probably what happened. But I do remember the thing with John Cena, his dad, is that after like he was done with all the storyline, he would get booked for like random shows, like indie shows, and they'd say like John Cena appearing, and I'm like, you guys are not technically wrong, but you're an asshole, because you're saying John Cena's gonna be here. That's like saying Eric Angle will be at your show. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we have Angle's gonna be here at the show. Eric Angle. Oh my gosh, that would be funny. I'm just saying. Uh, but but well, so moving on, we do have okay, so this match I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited for it, but I'm also just like, okay, it's what it is. So we have the Golden Jets, Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho, the Ocho, versus the Young Bucks. Now, there's obviously some stipulations here, so I have to read all this. When the stipulation thing is so long, I have to read it. That tells you something. So it says here, if the Golden Jets win, they will get the Young Bucks AEW World Tag Team title opportunity. So they won a number one contendership or something.
Yeah, they just give it a very stupid name, and they also give it a very stupid stipulation.
Yep. So you have that. And then, but if the Young Bucks win, the Golden Jets must disband as a team, the team that they just made like 2 weeks ago.
Well, to be fair, they also Jericho and Sammy had the Sex Gods, and that lasted like 3 weeks. So,
oh my gosh, I think he still had it on his jacket, didn't he? Sammy still have his jacket, like that denim jacket he had? I think he still had the patches on it.
I wouldn't doubt it, but it's just one of those things where I feel like right now, because they don't have anything for Kenny. They don't have anything for Kenny Omega to do. Yeah. So they're just like, just team up with Chris Jericho. Just, it's a once in a lifetime thing. And of course, Kenny was like, all right, I'll do the business, just whatever.
Yeah.
Just give me something to do to Wrestle Kingdom.
That's exactly how I feel. I feel like because they didn't have anything for Jericho to do. Omega, same thing, not really anything. So it makes sense. Young Bucks do not need the titles. They don't, it doesn't, for God's sake, they don't need them.
And this is another way where if you want to get the belts off somebody, put them on these two guys for a minute and have these two guys put somebody else over. Since maybe the Bucks don't feel like, they're in a position where they want to put somebody over right away.
EVPs? Nope. No loss for the EVPs. What? Yeah, that makes more sense. I mean, losing to the Young Bucks, whatever, or beating them, whatever. But beating Jericho and Kenny Omega for a tag team, or whatever, I like that. I'm all for that. Especially since the tag team titles kind of got a little odd, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But yeah, booking wise, when you see that on there, Jericho, Omega, yeah, that's gold. Gold. I mean, it really is. And I will say something about the name, and I know they're kind of going off the idea of the whole, the Gold Lovers. Now you have the Golden Jets.
Jericho is not about to be smooching Omega in his lips.
No.
He's not doing that.
But what makes me a little upset is I'm a diehard hockey fan, Red Wings fan, but also know a lot about hockey in general.
Red Wings.
Yeah. And Chris Jericho's father was in the NHL for years, Hall of Famer. So he obviously knows a lot about hockey and everything. In hockey, the Golden Jet was a player named Bobby Hall. Hall of Famer has passed away. His son, Brett Hall, also Hall of Famer.
I heard of that one, Brett Hall, but go ahead.
But his dad was Bobby Hall. He was known as the Golden Jet. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool, But then it had nothing to do with any of that. Like, that's – and he would know. Jericho would know. He's a hockey fan. You know what I'm saying? He grew up with hockey. He would know. He definitely is, but it is what it is. Anything's fine with me with Jericho because we were, 20 feet away from Jericho last week when we went and seen him in our local city here in Wyandotte when he performed. It's fun with his band Fozzy. It was very entertaining. It was
magical. It was everything I hoped and dreamed.
It really was. So very fun time. But yep, Jericho, Omega, they're going to go over. And then whenever they do that title match, it will probably be at the World's End show, most likely, because they need to get some hype for that show. So I think it would make sense to do it then. But who knows?
Right.
But okay. So we do have here for the TBS Championship, we got We got Chris Statlander, champion. It's gonna be looks like it's gonna be a 3-way match, which all right, sounds good to me. Oh, is it a wrestling match? No, I don't. Never. Anyways, Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart, and then versus either Red Velvet or Sky Blue. Which I'm not gonna lie, some of these names are starting to sound like mattress actress names now. I swear to God. So, I'm just saying. You
That
know.
was the only person I heard of that word.
Hey, you know. But
oh man, that's great. I'm so happy right now.
But give me some Sky Blue anytime. But obviously, over the past few weeks, people have noticed that Julia Hart's doing this kind of like she's infecting some of the other women wrestlers with her kind of essence, the House of Black type essence, which is kind of cool. You know, want to make a new faction for them or something. Sky Blue is always good with me. You know, she's been up and coming. You know, I'd say rookie of the year. I mean, at this point, at least for the women, you know. But yeah. So personally, it should be Sky Blue in this. I'm just gonna, regardless of it, Chris Statlander's still winning. I feel like the idea of a triple threat does kind of suck for you because obviously you get pinned. You don't have to be pinned, don't have to submit. But I just don't see Chris Statlander losing the belt right now. I think she'll hold on to it for a little bit longer.
At least, well, maybe I'm wrong, but she's still, somewhat on, she's somewhat riding a push. She's still hot right now, no pun intended. Maybe I don't know, but as far as her, she's still got pretty decent momentum going. Is she going to have a Cargill run? Of course not, but I see her holding on to it for a few months. Hell, according to Dumbass Khan, it could be hell, it could be gone tomorrow. So
yeah, oh yeah, exactly. So it would be. I'd be surprised if anybody but Chris Statlander won, but Julia Hart could win. Like you could see, I could see Julia Hart win. I could also see randomly a storyline where like Sky Blue won, right? But Julia Hart like controls her because again, it's the whole kind of gimmick right now is that she's kind of infected her to be on her side, to be like in the bad vibes there. So maybe helps Julia Hart win too. You can see that too. Like, but as long as it's naturally done and it's not like how the Outcasts were, it'd have to be more like the Ministry of Darkness. Think of like if you remember how they had like the Acolytes, the APA before the APA, like they were like the muscle. So imagine like these chick would be like her muscle, right? Julia Hart, because you already have the guys take care of themselves, but then you have a girl kind of will do their dirty work for her. I could see something like that happening if that's what they kind of plan on doing, But Chris Statlander, I mean, she'd have to fight her way out of this too. Like, I want to see her fighting, like, and then still coming away with the victory, but barely, like squeaking out the victory, like getting out.
Like that. Oh, like how they should have done Liv Morgan a year ago. But I'm not. We're past that now. We're past that. We're moving on. We're healing.
We're healing. It's the planet healing itself.
We're still healing from bad booking. We're still healing. We're still healing.
I don't know what to say. Oh God, so still terrible to this day. To this day, still terrible. But yeah, so I think it's gonna be a good match. They're probably only gonna give them 12 minutes though. Or if that. I don't see that match going any longer than 12 minutes, So which is sad, but the nature of triple threat matches kind of sucks that way,
Yeah, well, I mean, only if they not. I would say only if they not. See, it's weird with tag matches. Sometimes they can run like a well-oiled machine. They can be a work of art. Other times they could just be all over the place, and then you're exhausted after watching like 12 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's always like, especially with AEW. I mean, look, listen, this company is no more for their wrestling than their storylines, and I get it. But I mean, still, it's just like sometimes it can be so exhausting. So, but we'll see.
That's very true.
Oh, my bad for the people in the internet. So this is just an update of what we got going on as far as our picks. Most part, I mean, we pretty much been on the same page most of this evening. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
We shall see. Indeed. That's so we do have now for the AEW Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. Your champions, still Ricky Starks and Big Bill, which I don't get it, but okay. I'm still there. I mean, they're clearly just transitional champions, but okay. Yeah, and versus La Faction Ingobernable, or LFI, which is Roosh and Dralistico, versus FTR, and then versus the Kings of the Black Throne, which is what they're now what these two are referred to as just these two.
I'm going to be honest with you, Doc. That definitely sounds like a 18-up movie that you find at a local store where you kind of look around before you walk in the door and make sure nobody sees you walking in.
Yeah,
this looks like a title of a movie that you will buy from a place like that.
You know what's funny too is Game of Thrones has the Iron Throne, made out of a bunch of swords.
Yeah,
I think Kings of the Black Throne is made out of something different. I feel like maybe not swords, but what can I say? What can I say? Oh boy, maybe
Scott
will be part of that match too. I don't know what, huh?
But I would say, I mean, for me, this is gonna be an exhausting ass match where I'm be sitting there like, oh dear God. After like 6 minutes, I'm gonna be sitting there looking around at everybody like, dear God, is this over? This will be a moment where I might. So because a new Mario game comes out Friday, and I might spend part of this match playing that game instead of paying attention because there's gonna be so much crap going on. So we'll see. Fine, stay tuned next week's episode of Dragon Ball Z to find out.
There you go. Hey, I don't blame you too on that. Fatal 4-Way matches, we've talked about them in the past. It's sometimes can be good, sometimes it can be bad. It's you're gonna get a lot of these same tropes. You're gonna get a lot of each teammate's gonna get a hot tag. They're gonna do their hot moves against every member because the ref's gonna lose control 5 minutes into the match. You've lost control, completely lost control.
Paw Control.
Oh my Paw Control. Yeah.
We lost our Paw Control.
Oh my God.
We lost all Paw Patrol, ladies and gentlemen. All Paw Patrol.
Oh God. That's how I feel. Like when you see something like this, that's what's going to basically happen.
So like in the other promotion, and yes, we will always forever compare promotions. Some people like, you can't compare the two. Shut up. But as far as with WWE, a lot of times when they do these matches, so when we see a Fatal 4-Way, it may be something that might be put last minute, or it might be a whole bunch of teams where, unless you're like a hardcore wrestling fan, it's almost that moment where you just get up and do your thing. I guess with WWE, a lot of times when it comes to 4-Way tag team matches, if you see them, you don't see them a lot. You don't.
No,
obviously you might get a few singles matches per on a pay-per-view. You might see one or two a year on a pay-per-view. But my problem is with this company in Jacksonville, they are doing this like every single pay-per-view. It's almost like they got 1, 2, or 3 of them.
Yep.
And it gets exhausting after a while. Now, because even with this that stupid trios matches that they got going on, that feels like a 6-man match, even though it's going to be like 2 guys mostly wrestling the whole time.
Yeah.
But with this Fatal 4-Way, like, I will be off. So with AEW, I will be all for Fatal 4-Way matches as far as the teams. If they only did like one, like maybe hell, because, Ding Dong Kong isn't going to change his mind with his booking. So I would say if he just threw one in like every pay-per-view, I'll live with it. And so far, I think this is probably the first pay-per-view in a while where we've only seen one Fatal 4-Way match.
Yeah. There you go. That's the caveat, like on that. And
but yeah, that's all I got.
Well, no, you're right. I mean, I remember when I was watching a lot of the past WrestleManias earlier this year, when getting up to WrestleMania, and literally it was like every year there was a fatal 4-way tag match for one of the tag team titles every WrestleMania. And I know it's not just WrestleMania, but it was like clockwork. I would watch that next year. There was another one. There was another one. There was another one. And it was crazy. And then you have random teams. Like I remember Garrison Cade, when it was they changed him back to his Lance Cade gimmick, before he was with Festus, yes, bring it up. What's funny about that? There are people online. Here, hold on a second. Take this down for a second, because I got
hold on,
I got a hot take. There are people online that do not like Biscuits and Gravy and theme song. I'm just saying. I don't know who these people are. I don't know who these people
are wrong.
They're wrong, right?
They're wrong.
That theme song is so good.
If any of you cowards listening, or somebody who's a coward and doesn't like that song, tell them they should they should look at their father in their eyes, and they should tell their father to apologize for bringing them on this planet. Biscuits and Gravy is a top 10 banger in all of music, not just wrestling, but in music.
If I could find
that's all I got
on the jukebox, I play it all the time. All the time. It's so good.
I would like play it over and over, like What's New Pussycat.
Yeah. All of a sudden you're like, it's quiet, and you're, yeah, Biscuits and Gravy.
After the 5th time, somebody's ready to throw a beer glass across the bar. Yes. Oh, fun fact, we actually did the John Mulaney What's New Pussycat, and it went over exactly how you would think it would. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go on YouTube, look it up. John Mulaney What's New Pussycat, and we did that, and it was well worth it.
It is so funny. But anyways, yeah. So these tag matches, that's what would happen. You'd see random people getting thrown in tag matches, or it was for the titles. Sometimes it would be a elimination match, meaning obviously what it sounds. Each team eliminated until there's only 2 teams left. But the majority of the time, it was just first win, pinfall wins. Sometimes they had Texas Tornado rules, meaning you could tag any single person at all for the match, And
real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off, Doc.
You're fine. Oh, yeah, you're good.
If I need to put like rubber band or tape on this thing. Okay, so if Ding Dong Kong, if he's going to book these in the future, I would just make them elimination matches. So like the first 3, within the first 2 or 3 minutes, somebody's getting eliminated. Okay, now we got a triple threat. Let that go on. Let that go on. Let that marinate for about 7 minutes. So now we're like 10 minutes, right? So and then at that point, at the 7-minute mark, somebody else gets eliminated.
Yeah.
Now, because granted, we're probably going to get 15. Probably get about 15 minutes. So now for those 8 minutes, you got those 2 teams going at it, and bam, it writes itself.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
It gets people out of the ring, so then it's not so messy. It's not so cluttered for when they want to do their moves. Unfortunately, they want to see those big hot tags, and then you're going to hit everyone with their big moves and stuff. And it's like, no, you don't have to do that every time. There are people that are going to lose. There are 3 teams here that are going to lose. Okay.
So
2 of them are the main teams, and they're not even the champions. You got FTR, House of Black. Like, those are, to me, your main people. And I do like Roosh. I do like Drillistico. I just,
I like them separate, not teaming together.
Yeah, and I get why they're teaming together. I do, because of the whole thing from New Japan. They're I'm not in Gobernable. I'm learning, but
this guy right there, you see that guy up there? That guy right there kills it. He knows it every time. That man. Listen, Dr. Love is doing God's work right now. Y'all just don't realize it.
I'm trying here. So, but yeah, I mean, as long from I see what she got here, I'm not gonna say it really just the way it looked. I thought it said New Kids on the Block,
Hey,
Just
Oh,
kind of like, oh god, that's funny. I'm gonna go. Whew, oh boy. Okay. Who should win to who's going to win? That's always the question. This could
just,
change
just,
even
just,
Saturday.
just pick the same team I did. We'll go FTR
Yeah,
because when in doubt, FTR.
yeah, it's probably going to be FTR. It's going to be FTR. So I'm going to go. I'll go with FTR. I can see that.
I see you just kept look. I know you. I know you. You kept lingering.
Well, I'm going to say what I'm looking at is that who would take the pinfall on that. So if FTR wins, I could see Ricky Starks taking the pinfall. I don't really see Roosh or Dralistico might. He might take the fall too. I don't see any of House of Black taking any of the pinfall.
Well, if it's FTR, I can see I can see what's the name? Brody.
Malachi.
No, not Malachi, but what's that? Brody King.
Brody King. Yep.
I can see Brody. Yeah, I can see Brody King. I was trying so hard not to say Brody Lee. I was trying so hard not to say
I
that.
know.
But I would say, if FTR wins, I'm going to say I can see Brody King taking the pin. I know I'm going for like these hot takes and as far as pinfall tonight, but just hear me out. But because I mean, if Brody King gets pinned, it doesn't hurt him, especially when you get pinned by a prestige team. Now I got let's say as far as me, I got Black Team Black Throne. So them winning, I can see one of them. Actually, I can see one of them pinning Big Bill, even though Big Bill's definitely been getting pushed. Or now he's finally winning some gold. But if Kings of Black win, I'm going with Big Bill taking the pin.
Okay. All right. See.
Then we'll come back next week and see how wrong I was.
I don't. Hey, you know what? When we do our guesses, our predictions for Saturday, some of these might change. Some of them slightly might change. It depends, But because it's always for the prestigious Tomato Fountain Championship, which right now is held by my beautiful wife, Holly. So she is.
Oh, speaking of, somebody just had an anniversary.
Yeah. We got from the producer.
Somebody just had an anniversary.
Yep, thank you. Yep, it was on Saturday. So
yeah, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was very nice. And then we went, like I said, we watched the game on Sunday, and then they won. So the Lions. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Just to make sure everyone knows, the Lions made sure and won on Sunday.
Lions
7-2. So
Lions won a game. Just imagine if Ding Dong Khan booked your wedding.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I say he'll have you proposing to Andy, and then Holly's right there, coming in with a briefcase like Dolph Ziggler. I'm here to show the world, and then she gets the pin on Andy. Then you get to kiss her. It'll be a fun train ride.
I just had that stroke like listening to what you just said, man. I swear to God. Oh my God.
And somehow Dave Meltzer, because it was in America and it happened in Dearborn, he's only going to give it 2 stars.
Yep. Nope. No Japanese in it. Nope.
There's no Japanese at your wedding. None whatsoever. 2 stars.
Nope. 2 stars. Oh my God. Yeah, that coward. That coward would do that.
Yeah,
I need to book it. I need to book Dave Meltzer versus CBM. There we go. In a real death match, like I mentioned earlier. CBM would take him down, prime time down. So we are on to our main event. Our main event of the show, which would be MJF, the current reigning defending heavyweight champion of AEW, versus Jay White, the leader of Bullet Club, the Bullet Club Gold. So on paper, and maybe and more so off paper too, this is going to be a pretty good match. This should be a banger. Jay White's extremely talented. I've been very upset since Jay White just ran out and who showed up on AEW to no fanfare, and that was very annoying to me. TK couldn't have booked it any worse for his debut, in my opinion.
Triple H said, "Hold my beer" when it came to Nick Aldis, but go ahead.
Nick Aldis wasn't as bad, personally. I didn't, because Nick Aldis wasn't a wrestler. That's the only difference. I think, Nick Aldis, if he was a wrestler doing that, I'd say that's completely different. But since he's not wrestling anymore or anything like that, and I like Nick Aldis, it's still funny to me that their two general managers are two former NWA heavyweight champions, and they have Ron Killings, R-Truth, they have AJ Styles, former NWA heavyweight champions as well. So I think that's pretty interesting too.
And Jeff Jarrett stopped by for a moment.
Jeff Jarrett stopped by, so I was like, "Hey, I'm here, guys. What's up?" So there you go. But with this match, this should be a pretty good match. Obviously there's a lot of stuff going around this match. Let's just take this out of the way first before we talk about our thoughts of the match itself. What do you think about the Man in the Devil Mask? Who is it? Who is it going to be? I have my theory because it just makes sense. But do you have any theories? Or who do you think the Man in MJF's the Devil's Mask is going to be? Because he's showing up. He's showing up at the show. Whether he'll be unmasked or not, he'll probably will. But who do you think it's going to be?
Adam Cole.
Okay, all right.
Adam Cole.
Okay. It's a great, you know what? That's a great option right there. And I'm like this is my pick. And then there's Adam Cole. Like, I'm right there with you.
Roger Strong.
No, get out of here. You need a step stool to even get up on their height level. Come on. No. Nick Nemeth, the former Dolph Ziggler. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Oh, I like that.
I like
that.
Yeah, I guess it's something about it. I just feel like Adam Cole seems like it's too much predictability about it, because obviously they've been pushing it for months about him turning on him, right? And I'll tell you right now, this guy, when he's on with us, Travis, this guy, he had the theory where, Adam Cole's injured. Or is he? Is he just taking this time off and then he's gonna come back and he's not really injured? And I'm sitting here and all I can remember is the horse shit promos in WCW with Nash, when Nash was in the wheelchair and the big cast, and he's all like, and then he got up and then, I'm fine. I'm like, that was so stupid. Oh my.
And what's the name did it? And then what's the name did it? 7 years later.
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels.
He did the same thing.
When I think they was getting ready for that Armageddon 3 Stages of Hell. This was like fresh off of that. This is like a month or two fresh off that SummerSlam match.
Yep. So good. One of my favorites of all time right there. But yeah, so it's just like I could see it being both of them. And whether or not it's going to cause him to lose the match, or is it just going to be something that comes out afterwards? I think.
So to give you my thoughts, I think it might be afterwards, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't see MJF possibly losing that belt until 2024.
Yeah.
Until
renegotiation time.
Yeah, the bidding war for 2024, and I just feel like I don't know when in 2024 his contract is up, but I just feel like I just don't see him losing until next year.
I mean, I'm with you on that. I really am. So the best way I could see that happening is this: you're gonna have a good match, 22 minutes, probably between 22 and 25 minutes, depending on really just depends on time for the rest of the show. You're gonna see some good spots here, real close calls. It's a regular match, so there could be disqualifications. I don't think that's gonna happen. People are gonna get thrown out. You're gonna see he's out of here. The guns might show up because they get kicked out, stuff like that. But if Adam Cole shows up, say it's Adam Cole, we'll do Adam Cole. He shows up at the end afterwards, and that would set up for a match against him, right? That and that's the match we want to see, like against Adam Cole, where he still beats Adam Cole though, for it. And it might be a match that they might be setting up for only because you got this new pay-per-view next month, this World's End show. So they need something for that. They need something
headliner
to buy it. So it's a new pay-per-view for people to buy. It's hard unless you're giving us something good to watch. That would be a good match to watch. Let's see. So that's only my take on it. That's, can you look up when exactly the World's End show is? I believe it's the end of the month. Like, I'm just throwing out a number, like the 29th, I think, is on top of my head. But I could be wrong. I'm just guessing here. But
December 30th, Saturday.
Hey, I was close. There you go.
So basically, last Saturday of the year.
Okay, all right, I can work with it. So there's enough time there for a pay-per-view people have to buy. I think that could work. You have Adam Cole come out, and he's the guy in the mask, and then he faces him one-on-one. It wouldn't be a triple threat match because the storyline's been built up for months. It would make sense to be a one-on-one match. Whether it's a stipulation type match, maybe, I don't know. That's here nor there. It's
right.
But that probably has to happen to be able to sell that show to get people to want to buy it. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. So what are your thoughts on that, though?
There's going to be a lot of emotions. There's going to be a lot going on. But as far as the match itself, I'm expecting a pretty solid match. This would be a match where you're definitely going to see the crowd is definitely going to look at Jay White as the heel, MJF as the babyface. And, MJF is going to go through his repertoire. I feel like Jay White is definitely going to put on a nice little clinic.
Yeah.
And it's almost going to me, it's going to be like watching MJF versus Daniel Bryan Part 2. As far as the wrestling goes. So.
Oh, so good. Gosh, that was so good. So, yeah. And I mean, most people, don't watch about other wrestling, don't really know much more about Jay White, except for what you've been seeing now. And he's a great wrestler. He did a lot of good stuff in New Japan. So it's going to be, I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this. I just hope if he loses that he's not just relegated back down to mid card. Like, he's gone. Get him out of here. Like, give him. Now those are two guys right there that could benefit from tag team titles, like him and Juice. Come on, baby. Who doesn't like Juice Robinson? Everyone loves Juice Robinson.
I love Juice Robinson.
I'm just because, hey, I'll book this. It already books itself. Orange Cassidy versus Juice Robinson, international title. Book it. Come on. You got Juice versus Juice, freshly squeezed versus Juice.
Listen, Ding Dong Khan. I know you listening here, you coward. Book it. We're giving you gold. Free gold at that.
There you go. Oh, yeah.
So with that being said,
that's a lot of booking right there. Yeah.
So with that being said, Doc, are we ready for Heat of the Week?
Yeah, we will. Oh, well, actually, one other thing, real quick, just a real rumor mill, but about WWE. Next week, after Black Friday, after Thanksgiving, is the Survivor Series show. We'll talk more about that next week, but the big rumor, the heavy big rumor, is that
it's not gonna happen, but
that apparently Randy Orton might be coming back.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
You were talking about the Mr. Philly Brooks? No, Philly's he's gonna be drinking his Pepsi, eating his ice cream bars. I don't know what he's doing. What he's doing. But apparently Randy Orton will possibly be coming back at either surprise at the actual show or SmackDown, the go home show the day before. So, regardless, I'll be happy to see him back. But honestly, at this point, Randy Orton doesn't need to do much more in his career. So
just come in, entertain, put talent over, look good doing it, and
RKO some people out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Dude, like, that one shirt, like the go home shirt, like, come RKO, go home. You know, just but yeah. So there you go. But we'll talk more about that next week. But as Sauce was mentioning, yeah, we of course have the heat of the week, which we like to mention every single week. Sauce, what do you got for your heat of the week?
I would like for you to go first.
Ooh, okay.
Because this is going to be kind of a two-parter.
That's okay. I like it. I like that. All right. So let's see. Ooh, there's a few different things have kind of happened. I will say, if I had this, there's a lot of small things and there's some bigger things. I will mention one smaller thing that happened is that on Raw now they've brought up the Diamond Mine. You know, or I should say the Creed brothers. I should say, maybe more specific. And I'm a big fan of them in NXT. Because again, they reminded me so much of like World's Greatest Tag Team, stuff like that. And seeing them out there fighting against like Alpha Academy with like Chad Gable and them, I'm sitting there like just give me like this pure wrestling. These guys are just pure strength. And they were getting over. Like they're just push these guys. Tag wrestling. Seeing them tag wrestling where they care about it. Oh, that's what I like to see. So that's pretty much, that was like a small take because there's so many little things, but that's what I just like to see is something that they didn't give a crap about for a long time when it came to tag wrestling and now actually caring about it again.
Right.
So, yeah. All right, Sauce. So hit me with the little ladle one, ladle two. Sauce here, double sauce.
Okay, so this is two parts. One is going to be with us two. The other part is going to be spoiler. I'm going full screen for the next part. First part is my heat of the week is Mr. Mark Calloway, aka The Undertaker. I went out to Cleveland over the weekend to go see his One Man Dead Man show, and it was actually pretty solid. It was like an hour. It was like an hour and 45 minutes of just him telling stories or whatnot, and I had a pretty good time. Or whatever, and then part two.
That's really cool, man.
Cleveland, because Cleveland's only like a 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good. So part two, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to figure out how to make this work. Hold on. Hold on.
There you go.
Hold on. Let me see how hold on. My bad. This kicks you off. Hold on. Okay. So the show was good, but I need to talk to the wrestling fans out there. So to the wrestling fans, I understand that a lot of y'all look at these guys as heroes. You know, these guys you look up to, you worship or not. These guys are like comic characters to you. What really gets annoying is when you have wrestling fans like the ones that was out there, you have these guys who clearly probably still live in their mother's basements and they don't get much human interaction. And the only interaction they get is behind a screen. So when you go to a show, which people have paid $100-something for, we don't want to hear you scream every like 2 minutes about, you know, just constantly just yelling, just stupid stuff out like, one more match, Undertaker, you still got it. Oh, every time Undertaker references somebody, everybody's got to yell something. Listen, I know a lot of people out there. Like I said, they don't get out much. They don't know what outside is. But when you go out in public and you see wrestlers, even if they're talking or at a show, act like an adult, act like you got some common sense. Because for the most part, I understand that some people might have alcohol involved, and that's not my fault. But at the same time, when you're at a show, you have to be respectful of other people there. Because once again, I did not pay $100-something to hear you yell every 5 minutes to Mark Calloway about any little thing he was saying. So the next time when you go out in public and you see a wrestler or if it's at a show, act like you got some sense. And that's all I got.
Well, I hate that you had to deal with that, and that does suck because I'll go see some comedians, and you'll get people that will heckle. It doesn't matter if it's a small show or it's a big show. Like even when I went and seen John Mulaney last year at the Fox, which is a very nice venue downtown Detroit. Yeah. It's a big one. But then of course you had hecklers that are just being assholes. And of course, like you're mentioning, like the venue you went to, how many people you think filled that venue? If you just had to guess, 200, 300 people or
Let's
less?
go 200. I would say about ballpark about 220.
Okay, so yeah, and I get it. Wrestling fans were very passionate, but then you got the toxicity of these people. It's like read the room, like you said.
Yeah.
Like I would have been pissed off too if someone's sitting there yelling.
Well, after a while, it just got annoying, and I just yelled. I was like, "Oh my god, shut the fuck up! Just shut up!" And then at one point, I was like, "Please shut up and go back to your mother's basement."
You know, that actually brings up a point before we head on out of here. That's probably why Stone Cold Steve Austin would never do the Broken Skull One show as a show like that.
No, he wouldn't be able to because people wouldn't shut up.
They wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, do you know how cool that would be though if he did like a show, like in a small venue, smaller, like, but then yeah, it would be with other wrestlers. Could never do it because he'd have people like these assholes that wouldn't shut up and yelling about shit like that. And it's like, come on, that's oh my gosh. But it was still a show, though, right? Were you able to?
So basically, that's my rant. Dear wrestling fans, I know this fandom is very important to you. These guys are like you look at these guys like superheroes, but at the same time, remember, we are in the public. You're no longer in your mother's basement, and you need to act like you're alongside civilized people.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
There you go. That's all you need to. That's all needs to be said, honestly. But hey, you know what? Another good show here. And hopefully the show itself for Full Gear will be a good one. I'm doing that show again over in my place. Sauce should be over there, a few of other people, and we'll see how it goes. CBM will be there. And then
let's go.
And we'll report back next week along with the preview for the Survivor Series War Games. War. Sorry. It's Adam Pearce's eyes are like piercing through my skull. Got it. I still got it, But that being said, we're good for another week. I'm Dr. Love, and of course, I can't do it without him, but we got Sauce Bronson.
Yo. But hey, at the end of the day, once again, when you out in public, just act like, no matter what it is, when you out in public, just act like you got some damn sense. Act like you got some home training. Because in a minute, I'm just going to assume that you're either just an idiot or you're an asshole, or I'm just going to believe that you're on the spectrum. And I don't know. Y'all be happy. Y'all be healthy. Y'all be safe. Most importantly, I'm going to say this very slowly. Be good.
Go.